I promise you all more CSGO action, so it would only be fitting that I would be the one to bring it to you as well. Hello and welcome back, everybody, to the HCG Master Season number 1. And it is bound to be a proper scrap here. We were on the lower side. They were 0-1. Then we do move to a 1-0 right here, right now, which is always more intense. It's always a scrap, and you have to prove yourself again. You've done that already, but these teams should be somewhat vaguely reminding yourself of something I said earlier, because they were the ones to take down the Bulls and to take down Masonic. So they are the Dabbing Koalas and NoNamers International. Both exquisite lineups, and they've been able to take down a good lineup already. Masonic, they showed their strength. The Bulls, just as much. And NoNamers, they went to a third round against the Bulls. But let's have a look at which maps we're going to be seeing here today. If you were cheeky, if you were smart, you already typed !maps in chat. But if not, we will roll the dice here, see what comes up, and look at that Dabbing Koala. Wow. It's only one, though, so it doesn't really make sense in that regard. The Dabbing Koalas, and then they only show one. Disappointing behavior here, but Ancient at least getting banned. No disappointing behavior there. And the intricate maps, they don't want anything of them. Ban them outright. NoNamers, ban Vertigo. Don't want to see that. Here we go. What are bananas? Oh, I guess there is a banana here. What are the koalas? I'm going to pick. It's Inferno. Lovely little pick there. A repeat of what we saw earlier today already. And a new map that we haven't seen here today just yet, or in the past 2 series. Overpass. That should be a good one. I love Overpass. And then we don't see a repeat of Nuke Dabbing Koalas. Might manage to get rid of it, and I do like that. Not too much repeat maps. Unfortunately, due to them not having a proper lineup, they also banned Mirage, but that was not what I was going to say. Due to them not having a org surrounding them or whatsoever, there's not that much info regarding these 2 teams, and that always makes it a lot tougher. That decider map could be thus the more important. I think we're going to be looking more at the initial aim duels rather than them moving as a unit, because that is also always something that you have in the pocket. There's no way that you're going to all of a sudden have worse aim when you join a new team. Sure, it might be coming out worse in your rotation and everything like it could be worse as a result of it, but it's straight up aim is still going to be proper, and them already taking down a proper team before in Masonic and Bulls, that does bring confidence to me. I'm not too sure who is going to be the favorite. Also, with the map picks, there's no history between these 2 teams, but I really want to see these 2 duke it out. The NoNamers versus the Dabbing Koalas. It's one of those ones where we could start talking about what we expect, but realistically, and I like to keep it a stack, we don't know what we're going to expect. We do not have a extent history on these 2 teams. We only know that they did well in the first round and that they made it through the regional Swiss stage, which is already very decent. Well, apart from that, actually, no, they didn't even have to play in the regional Swiss stage. They just were invited, so they're throwing high. There is a lot of expectations upon them, but whether they're going to meet those expectations, it's going to be at least one team that doesn't have an org moving on to a 2-0 scenario. The Dabbing Koalas, it does make me a little bit questionable, right? If you were able to sweep Masonic, we saw that previous series, and then you have to wonder what state were Masonic in, because that second map out of them was just outright atrocious, unfortunately, for them. They were able to swing it back, so I don't feel too bad saying that. But NoNamers, being able to sweep Masonic outright does bring a little bit more confidence swinging in their way on the matches. It has a tiny bit of delay. You know, they want to get into the lobby and have a proper warm-up and everything like that. We did see earlier today as well, Enterprise getting swept, and on the other end, on the other stream, it's Sangle taking it up against Los Reyes. When you want to be checking out as well, that will be over on the main stream. Basically, type in the exact same address as this, but take off the B, and you'll find yourself at a lovely little stream as well. But focusing, scoping closer on this particular map here, NoNamers versus dabbing koalas. We are gonna find that out later. We're gonna do some extensive research real quick, but we are gonna throw it to a short little break. We shall see you back in a little bit.
Cameras out and on me, flash, fly as a plane on a runway. I'ma be a big star one day, flash. Can't afford to lose focus, flash. Step on stage and all the girls go flash. Straight to the hole like I'm MJ. And I'm on point like a switch, flash. Walk into the room, all I see is them flash. Cameras out and on me, flash, fly as a plane on a runway. I'ma be a big star one day, flash. Can't afford to lose focus, flash. Step on stage and all the girls go flash. Straight to the hole like I'm MJ. And I'm on point like a switch, flash, 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 flash. Step on stage and all the girls go flash. Straight to the hole like I'm MJ. And I'm on point like a switch, flash. Walk into the room, all I see is them flash. Cameras out and on me, flash. Fly get a plane on a runway. I'ma be a big star one day, flash. Can't afford to lose focus, flash. Step on stage and all the girls go flash. Straight to the hole like I'm MJ. And I'm on point like a switch, flash.
Apologies, everybody, for that short little break, but we at least did make it short and concise and simple and make sure that the teams were actually ready and rearing to go. So at least we've got that going for us. You had to look at a tiny little beer right back screen, but we are right here, right now, and this match still about to be underway. NoNamers versus the Dabbing Koalas. This is to put yourself one win away from making it through onto the playoffs and bagging yourself a nice little extra bit of money. You can double up right here, right now. And let's have another look at what map we're going to start with. Inferno. Yes, sir. We've seen that earlier today, so we know what's going to be happening. We know the strategy is possible. But now we need to see how these teams apply said strategies. NoNamers versus Dabbing Koalas. And again, this is the pick from the Dabbing Koalas. The Dabbing Koalas. They're actually going quick through apps. Mackie is going to rush on through the smoke. He doesn't give a care in the world. Onto site now. Spots the one there. Kaluber. That's bomb as well. Mackie, why so aggressive with the bomb? They're just pinstering them now. And an easy round for NoNamers. Incredibly easy. They didn't even really have to do anything. An interesting strategy to start it off with. the entry by Kaluba as well. Just solid. Nothing really to be said about it. Or that you can say against it. I like the idea, but they just didn't actually have the flood. They tried to be as quick as possible, and then instead of actually being as quick as possible, Maki just died, gave away bomb. That also instantly pulls the rotation, everybody towards that site. NoNamers. I'm trying to fight off this pressure. Damning Koalas. Trying to put on them. And Maki at least exerts it. Joel will be taken out of the equation. Duplicate. Will disintegrate instead. Red Star yet again. Already pushing up. Harn. Last alive on the side. Maki already died in the back of it. They didn't check the angle. That just feels like a free kill, free giveaway. Dabbing Koala still in a decent position, losing a bit of health. Urshan, make sure the Red Star is reduced to 0 entirely. Nikki just retreating. Realize this round is lost. Nikki, home down the line though, wanting to get those exit frags onto the Dabbing Koalas. He actually gets 2. Maki finally able to get it out of his hands. Should be able to pick up the M4. Maki already had one. And an immediate pulls coming through as well. Guess they don't want to let this one run away from them. Maybe it's one of those ones where you are upset or something that you already got ecoed so early on, and you have to find your way back, or there could just be something wrong. But the Dabbing Koalas, they at least steal one away from their opponent on their map pick. We know exactly how to utilize those scenarios. Those positions are always incredibly pivotal to your success. That is usually what Inferno comes down to. Can you get the rounds away from your opponent that you're not necessarily supposed to win? Right back into the action we go. Red Star peeking his head around the corner, trying to come up lucky. NoNamers. Nikki's got a Mag 7. I do like that. Makes it interesting. It looks cool. Nikki up close as well. Luckily for Dabbing Koalas, they don't have an interest in a banana, otherwise they have a shotgun to the face. Always tough to deal with. Now it's the USP instead of the flash in. He's able to get a peek around the corner, but that's at least the rotation should be coming through now. 3-man spotted. Push. Sitting back, and Dabbing Koalas are actually not going on further. If they still have an interest in a site, surely they have to assume as well that the reinforcements will be coming through. Duplicate taking out one. Jove, immaculate spray with the Mac, or with the Galil rather, on the Mac 10. Maki with the M4 rather gets it thereafter. Now Nikki is in an impossible position with the Mac 10, Mac 7. And he's just going to hide out, see whether he can use it next round, and also not give away the info. That's also an important part here, right? That Dabbing Koala do not actually know that they could be going down banana and run right into a Mac 7, because then the next round it could come in where NoNamers, they're still going to have to save because they force bought this round. There's absolutely some value in it. Dabbing Koalas, they have got the better of the value game right now. Been able to come out with 4 alive as well, and A lot of guns preserved. No Mac 10, so I guess the economy in the long term will still struggle. Well, at least they have guns, so they give themselves a good chance in this round yet again. This should be a bonus round. NoNamers. The only thing that they've got going for them is that Mac 7. Probably going to hold down Banana yet again. Dabbing Koalas is up to go for it and get lured into the trap. They're going to get ripped to shreds. Now Banana, they will go. That Mac 7, you see the outline of it through the wall, but obviously Dabbing Koalas, they've got no clue what's staring them down. Kush, he might just have a rude awakening as soon as he steps around this corner. That Mac 7 actually peeks up, jumps, and Kush able to take him down. Kush, rightly so. The better mag. Mag. Kush just pushes through, and I love that Dabbing Koalas. Instead of buying another gun here, they've realized, okay, their economy is going to be in a shambolic state. So let's actually buy a Mac 10, put it into the mix, and make sure that that is the gun that pushes everybody. If we lose it, it doesn't matter. It's a very good investment. And if as soon as you have this scenario, that's incredible. You have so much extra money in the bank. It is only winning if you decide to go for a Mac 10 in this particular position. Only if you lose the round, of course, but that is a whole different matter. Harn. He just wants an exit. Might be able to get one. Sneaking behind the enemy lines. This is just a ring around the rosy right now. Uh-oh. Gosh. That's the Mac 10, though. This is what I mean. Harn got a Mac 10. Great, you've got that for next round. Nothing you can really do with it. Here we have it again. Watch with the Mac 10. 3 kills. That's 1,800 in the bank. That's the investment of it already gone, and now he's able to buy up and take the remaining gun. The economy utilized incredibly well here by Dabbing Koalas. Duplicate is actually still rocking the Mac 10. Gonna try and play it up close and personal here. Harn, peek down mid, catches Anderson off guard. Still spots the molly. At least a tag. Could make it an easier job for his teammates later on in the round. Dabbing Koalas, they were looking for an entry somewhere. They had already found one. They gave up the position with Urgent getting lackluster in the midfield. Up close and personal gets Joel with Red Star. That's a site given up entirely. Dabbing Koalas, I don't know how Joel's done this, how he snuck through the cracks, because Duplicate is still in the mid to try and shut it down. Harn with an orb, not getting caught by Joel, and that is a shot you have to be hitting. Great that you're on site. Oh no, he's going to get pushed yet again with a Deagle. He had a Galil to try and work with. And all of a sudden, NoNamers have turned this round upside down. Dabbing Koalas. Hanging on by a thread. Roga does have the bomb. So he could just back down. I think NoNamers know it as well. Or are they going to stick her as a unit? Or do they trust themselves in the duel? Seems like whichever one they opt for, it will be too late. At this point, just stick together as a duo for a little bit more. It's still uncomfortable for Roga. He doesn't know where they're going to be coming from. Luckily for him, there's only 2 avenues right to this site, and he might just indeed go into that construction area. This first shot is make it or break it. Roga will give away his position, so even if he does hit the shot, puts him in an unfavorable spot. Because peeking around the corner. They're slowly but surely closing in. The timing not in his favor. And that's Roga's position given away. Misses the first shot as well. And the bomb being defused by Harn. This is impossible, and I think Roga knows it. He just goes for the no-scope. Oh my word, that's every single thing you can get. Only is through the smoke. But Dabbing Koalas, I think if you look at what that round had, well, they still managed to scrape a decent amount out. Getting a bomb plant there, saving the orb. Overall, incredibly solid by them. What has that chicken done to you? Brings the playfield only slightly in favor of the damning koalas. Look at the money on the side of NoNamers and the guns they're using as well. An MP9 and a FAMAS. Not what you like after you've just won a round. But sometimes you gotta make ends meet. Can't always have the best buy. So they're gonna be peeking their heads around in apps. See whether they can find an avenue there. A way through, while also staying aggressive on banana. They like map control, dabbing koalas do. And then they slowly calculate which option is the better one. The throw of smoke. We see 4 T buddies stacking up mid. Indicating an A push. But an indication doesn't mean anything since Mackie, he's still on the lurk. On the prowl with the smoke, that's going to fend him off. The smoke, the flash by Urson, that should be enough info for NoNamers and dabbing koalas. They have got to go quick. They don't really have time to start lingering around anymore. And actually, it's a B execute instead. They go through the smoke and they quickly do it as well. The headshot landed by Mackie Duplicate. Say goodbye. I hope you were able to talk to your mother before that, Kaluber. He's going to back down, wait for the reinforcement to try and fight back later. Can't prevent the bomb plan either. Makes it tough for NoNamers to bring this one back. A nade landed on Joel. Gonna at least send him in pieces. Coach still trades himself away, and that's perfectly fine for the damning koala, but the health is not in their favor and not anywhere near. Oh. Almost underneath half. Mackie the only one slightly above Urshan and Roga. Roga doesn't really matter. He's got 1 bullet to work with anyway. And if he misses, that's death for him. Harn not caught off guard. He actually goes around for round 2. Damning koalas, they want to preserve their life, and yet again, a very good round pulled out by them. NoNamers were not expecting that to be a B push. Neither was I, to be fair. I was not expecting that to be a B push. I saw them all stack up at A with, what, like 38 seconds left? And they just decided to rotate. But this entry is so important because for Mackie to get that actually opens up the site, and they didn't have too much time left. If there was somebody back at site, somebody else had to actually move over there and gun him down, engage in the duel yet again, or throw a molly or a nade there or whatever, and it just makes it awkward. But NoNamers, they've got 2 guns still preserved, an AK and an all. And they want to do some damage with it. That's at least the very minimal of what they want to do. If they can, they want to make this an heroic play. Seems that dabbing koalas. I know it doesn't really matter with them, but it seems like they're gonna go A. And they're going B. Bomb is there at least. Slowly but surely creeping up. You just want to prevent the AWP and AK from being too harmful. Harn needs to be careful. Can't poke his head around too far. Actually does and gets the boost out from underneath. Mackie will thus be at his end of life. Dabbing koalas. That does open up sight. They don't really know it, but they do try and push through slowly but surely. Actually, NoNamers. They go so aggressive on the rotation. Joe will actually punch it through. For the rest, they're going to be in a pincer maneuver. Roga, he can at least call this one out. But they're going to have to make a stand for their lifetime. Only barely able to escape into coffins. That's a lot of guns. Kaluber gets Urshan. Joel, he's on the flank of the flank. And that's going to be all of them. That's going to be all of them. Joel, he's in a massive position. He can gun them all down. He misses the first tap, but he still lines them all up. But that's the round for dabbing koalas. Pulled out of a deep cavity, and they bag it up. Nobody cares about this. This is what we care about. This is what we want to see. I don't know. That would have been insanely painful had he not gotten the spray still. But the flank of the flank, and that is what dabbing Koalas needed for that round. They were getting pincered in. The relief of pressure. You can just already see what's going through Joel's mind. He sees all three of them looking away. And it's important that there were still people on site, because that is actually what distracted the CTs. But as soon as you're Joe, you're looking at this position and think, I cannot fumble this. That would be detrimental, because all of a sudden the scoreline would be 3-4. Incredibly close. Instead, Dab and Koala start pulling away on their map. We've seen plenty of steals. But this is looking like Dab and Koala have got it under control. Yet again, a weak buy for the NoNamers. I don't want to call it weak, but it's not their full power, not their full potential. And those FAMASs in the mix could make it uncomfortable for them. Damn Koalas. This time they are going aim. Calling it. Nikki loses the FAMAS duel and loses a bit of health in the process. Actually, no, does get down Joel. Arn needs to escape the flame. 25, a quarter of his health delivered. And there is Kush. Nice shot on Kaluber. Pushes through the molly as well. Could be a sound cue, but it doesn't really matter whether that was a sound cue or not. And being pulled through by NoNamers. They still know exactly what's going on here. The dabbing Koalas. They're figured out. Their plan. Roll wide out in the open. Red Star. Make sure that Urson stays there. And all of a sudden, that 3 red kills. No clue where that came from, but NoNamers. They lose yet another round, or unless Duplicate can establish himself as a driving factor of this team. With only a FAMAS as well. He's going to back down. He's going to grab the M4 and give the round to Koalas. Just let the clock run out here. That seals the deal. Gets around for a dab and Koalas. Makes it official. Before that was only a handshake deal. Contract signed, but NoNamers. They want to violate this contract. It was only for 1 round. Now they need to start clapping back. They have no money to do so. And that's the problem that NoNamers are facing the entire way through. Their buys are not actually full buys. They're sprinkled in with a FAMAS, weak utility. And I hope for them that they're able to actually get a proper buy going for once to fight back against the dabbing Koalas, who look so incredibly strong every single time. Red Star, that's at least a great start, trying to retrieve the AK and actually goes aggressive. He's going to push up all the way. Dabbing Koalas don't take this into account. They're going to be facing a similar scenario, but Duplicate. This is already a 3-on-5. Dabbing Koalas. They're looking like they might just take this round outright. Red Star taking the long way around, and I do like that, because everywhere that dabbing Koalas are going to look is probably going to be through mid. And they are not taking this into account whatsoever, and I think quickly they're being held up already. The site hold phenomenal on the side of NoNamers, but they falter in the counterattack. Or at least in the back creep, and Roga thus is able to find 2 kills, but this should be a very happy round as well on the side of NoNamers. This is just solid. They had nothing going into this round, so to be able to now pull off a upset like that, this gives them a full buy. This actually brings their util to full usage, so they're able to fend off the oncoming attackers. Because you know, dabbing Koalas, they're looking to push back, and they've still got money. get a full buy for themselves. Mackie wants to cross incredibly badly. I feel like lighting a car on fire and everything surrounding it should be enough info that there's not going to be anybody there. He's still scared. Probably after the molly dissipates. That is a good moment to actually go for the peak, where you don't expect it. Ooh, a boost. If anybody decides that they want to have a peek at Banana, they're going to get ripped apart. No doubt in my mind. Push. I get lucky through the smoke. Yet again, dabbing Koalas put a lot of manpower on towards that B push. There they go, pulling the trigger. Joe with the AK out, spots out Kaluber. Mackie backing him up and getting down duplicate. Up on the top of the coffins, that's only resembling of his death. Then he dug for himself. Mackie pushed up in CT already. You see that quick halt by Red Star. Put it in reverse, walk back. I don't want to have anything to do with this. Dabbing Koalas, they fight back again. Making it so annoying to play this game for NoNamers. They can't tie any rounds together. They're only getting one-offs. I don't think they're going to go too aggressive on the hunt for Red Star. A lot of corners he could pop in. You know what? It's alright for the NoNamers still. This game not far away, but they do use their break. They use their pulse. And they're moving as a unit on the side of dabbing Koalas. We have a look back here. They move onto site, look together, and do exactly what is required of them. And there's somebody else who does exactly what is required of them. It's Koimo Shinoi. It's a registered virtual currency service provider and licensed payment institution by the Financial Supervisory Authority of Finland. And the Finns, they've all got it sorted out. And then it's overwhelming for newcomers when they find out there are hundreds of cryptos they can invest in and dozens of different ways to do so. On Koimotion, there are 9 different cryptocurrencies with the biggest investment potential, no trading charge, and a handful of servers similar to what you use in your bank. Getting started only takes 10 minutes. It's easy. And dabbing Koalas, they've already been started. Their engine is rattling at a full power. NoNamers are trying to tap the brakes. Made right at the feet of Nikki. So yet again, dabbing Koalas. They would say they don't have a favorite child, but there is something suspicious going on here. Time and time they go. Show more interest in B at the get-go. I do back down here. And with a minute left, dabbing Koalas could still even pull the trigger to go back and try and attempt B. A, they can knock it wide open. Red Star, he's the key. If he falls, that means the rest tumbles down with him. Harn actually still has a good position. No, he's still in sight. Never mind, I thought Red Star was all by his lonesome, but there's 3 man on it. A person. And Joe able to combine to make it 1, but the cavalry already arriving on those beautiful little horses. Joe and Kosh. Unsure where they're residing. Duplicate getting bombed down over 26 seconds left. Joe, he gets traded out by Nikki, up in hands. And NoNamers, they start fighting back. NoNamers. They still need to get a decent amount of rounds in this half. And yet again, they have a bad buy. An AK, or an AK, FAMAS, and an MP9. You can utilize that MP9 right here, right now, just the same way Dabbing Koalas did. Or maybe they misread the situation. Maybe they expected Dabbing Koalas to have a detrimental economy state. They're able to scrape by barely. That being said, they do have an AWP. And they're investing all their money in that one spot. And Roga, he gets to carry the torch. He needs to light up NoNamers. Harn, sticking close in the mid. Molly going over the top, and Red Star, he could just catch them all out all the way up here on this little porch. Gets caught out, gets traded. That should still be fine. Dabbing Koalas. It's always been the case that they get onto site, but they don't do it quickly enough to duplicate with that FAMAS. Even able to hold strong hard, not able to escape the AWP. Roga goes on site and misses the no-scope. Actually, no, he didn't. He puts will duplicate on 1 HP. Ridiculously close. But a solid round yet again for the NoNamers. And that broke the economy of Dabbing Koalas. Finally, the funds have been running dry. They were already running on fumes, but this time it's entirely empty. Harm. Making sure that, of course, she's going to limp to site. What? Was Mackie the one jumping? Mackie? Gonna pipe down, lad. That does give an opener to Dabbing Koalas. Put a gun in their brain. Into their hands, rather, and a bullet in Mackie's brain. They're able to utilize this time and time again. Use the M4, try and get the entry, pick it back up if you fail, and then you go again. That's the strategy for Dabbing Koalas, but they're not going to try A anymore. NoNamers, they are heavy on the rotation. That's something that Dabbing Koalas know as well. Nicky, he's going to try and sneak through, but his timing could not be in his favor. No, it will be. That's bomb. Dabbing Koalas. They have at least opened up B. The player in construction already. Urshan does need to be quick, but the cross is going to be guarded by Kaluber. He looks away at the wrong time. Still gets Urshan. That means Joel has to chill back. First wants to get the kill on Kaluber. This is now a gamble. Where is that final player going to come from? Seems to have a pretty good inkling. It will be Banana. Harn. Still full HP. One headshot from Joe, and it is a level playing field. That's easier said than done. Dabbing Koala still need to push through. In the grand scheme of things, but right now it's hard. He needs to push side. Joey puts it in the brain twice even. He only did need to make it once to tie the level in the HP department, but 2 headshots will do as well. Makes it very easy for your team. But what a round by Dabbing Koalas. A very minimal investment and a huge reward of a grand total round win. Impeccable work by them. They're looking to go quick. Or at least flush them out with Banana. They want to take over. Dabbing Koalas, they would not mind if they start faltering now. Of course, it'd be annoying, but they already have set down a good record here. Set down the rule of law. Show what they're made of on this map and the T-side strats. Unable to be countered by NoNamers. Heavy Banana presence yet again. And the nade damage by NoNamers is a bit lackluster. They throw it at the start of the round, but Dabbing Koalas, they just kind of waited out until everybody actually resides there. Kaluber gets time, but still is able to escape. Fortunately for them, that is Banana control in the favor of Dabbing Koalas. They actually pull the trigger on the rotate. NoNamers, they're backing down, even though Damn Koalas. They've not made up their mind just yet. NoNamers. They're all over the place right now. Harn spots a fee of one, gets to kill Nursing. Now it's quickly needs to retreat, but as Joe peeking out of the corner quickly enough, Red Star getting it in the brain of Joel. And backs down quickly, got the gun. He runs away. Dabbing Koalas, they can hold the afterplant situation. At least that's something they can try and do with Nikki and Kaluba. They combine for a double. And Roga. That's the pull of the impossible. A 1-on-3. He's going to try and go apps while holding the angle. Incredibly scared that somebody could just come through. But the bomb only halfway there. And surely this is impossible. Checking every single angle. He gets the spray on the first one at least. Oh my word, that's a headshot. It's a 1-on-1 now. Get the spray right though. He's defusing. Oh no, Kaluba. He's actually going to get it. Surely no, he's a speeder spotted. Damn Koalas, they win the round 5-9 now. But that bomb was a slither away from being defused. It literally could not have been closer. And damn Koalas, they scrape by. Had Kaluba actually jumped up onto site, he probably would have had it, or at least a bigger chance. Now you just saw his full body. Otherwise, he'd be in the smoke. Look at what that did to the economical state of NoNamers, and look at what that does to the state of the Harn's face. Torn to shreds. Damn Koalas give him a makeover. Red Star. He only barely escapes it. Does get dressed up with red a little bit. Joel doesn't even look away from the flash. That is brilliant. Red Star is able to get the return kill though. 4-on-3. 4-on-2 rather. The scout makes it a 3-on-2. They're still so low on health. Red Star has an up to work with. And Kaluba and AK. But damn Koalas, they're already sitting in nasty positions to try and catch you off guard. And land one bullet on Red Star, and that is his life over. Final round, so they have to go for the util usage. Out, Davin Koalas able to hold them up for a while now. The up going down, and that might just be the end of it. Kaluba, he's going to get converted from every single angle. And Davin Koalas, they managed to win this round, win the half. 10-5 on the T side of Inferno. An impeccable start for them. And it is their map pick, so it is perfectly fine. But oh my word, have NoNamers been shut out. They can turn it around. We've seen that plenty already in the previous maps where as soon as you switch that side, something in your brain just actually clicks and you manage to combine it perfectly. But that is, of course, only the first half. We're going to throw a short little break to make sure we kind of get that second half all set up and ready to get rearing. But you don't want to go anywhere because it will still be a battle and a half. We shall see you back in a little bit. Don't go anywhere. First half is now already done, but do not be worried. Even after this second half, we have at least one more map, but that is going to come down to who wins this one in the end, because they can put themselves on match point of the entire series already. Damn Koalas versus the NoNamers, and Damn Koalas on that T side getting 10 rounds is inexplicable for NoNamers. I don't know what went wrong for them, and I don't think they exactly knew either. If they're grasping at straws, they're going to have to think of something new, something that worked for them. Let's just hop into the game with NoNamers. Let's see what they come out with. Pistol round will speak volumes for them. Damn Koalas are going to try and get NoNamers as silent as possible. In the entire NoNamers camp, preferably. Not uttering a single word, but they're going quickly. They're not making sound with their mouth. They're stamping with the feet, and it's our Stampede is up on course, but he's able to not get a kill whatsoever. That was atrocious. And heartbreaking as well there. That is a position where you could be getting a kill, but unfortunately you just get overwhelmed. Nikki trying to hold them up from Banana. Red Star able to get himself a second kill. 1-on-1 now. Red Star tries to escape into the depths. Managed to at least get away, put in a bullet to Joel. And Red Star, he's not favored in this position. Joel already 3 kills. That, of course, doesn't matter for the comeback potential. Joel decides to reload. It's just going for the defuse. Red Star now has to be quickly. He has a kit. And Red Star's just too late. He didn't go. And that is the round for Dabbing Koalas. Easily. Red Star stunned. Just completely coming to a dead stop. Joel, ice in the veins here to get that round away from the NoNamers. That's 11 now for the Dabbing Koalas. Force buy imminent for NoNamers. Of course, they don't want to have Dabbing Koalas too far away from them. It would be really cool to have a Dabbing Koala somewhere close to. Koalas in general are useless though. Not throwing shade at the team itself, but just in a general sense that they can't spot food if it's not actually on the tree. If you put a eucalyptus leaf right in front of them, they don't spot it. But maybe if you're dabbing, that brings an entirely different perspective, because Dabbing Koalas, they seem to know exactly where their dinner is, and it is in the name of NoNamers, hunting them down in every single direction. Not allowing them to build any momentum. NoNamers, they're stacking up on Banana, slowly pushing through Duplicate. The first one to entry. I actually have a very good buy. That's probably a stronger buy on than on the side of Dabbing Koalas. No, actually, they invested quite heavily as well. And then MP5 has the weakest gun. Maki boosted up. Getting down Duplicate. Nikki still flashed. Maki now having to relocate. And builds out in a different position. Cox easily gets rid of Red Star. Maki gets it down at Kaluber. A clean round for Dabbing Koalas, and that was a buy round for the NoNamers. They get an AK even. Kosh gets a free AK. He started this round with an MP5. He got money in the bank, and he upgraded his gun as well. That is exquisite for the Dabbing Koalas and NoNamers. This is a surefire 13th round for Dabbing Koalas. The odds heavily in their favor. The useless animals. But they are animals regardless. And that strength isn't something to be reckoned with. NoNamers. They're not looking too great right now. Dabbing Koalas being pushed up. Being boosted rather. They do have deagles. Now, there's something to be said about that investment. The good side, the positive side of it would be they actually give themselves a shot. They can tap heads. If they just have some intricate aim here, they can still pull this round in their favor. The bad thing is that the likelihood is still not that great. And I'm not too sure whether it's actually worth the investment. I guess it comes down to their aim and how much confidence they have in themselves. Urshan wants to shut it down from the get-go. Molly might just go through, but Roga, he got spotted, and everybody from NoNamers are backing down quickly. Herd mentality. One runs back, one waves the white flag, and the rest starts wavering as well. The confidence quickly down the drain, and Kosh, he's going to have to hold down. See the flash coming through, and he's going to spray them all. The bullets reigning supreme. Nikki finally going to get rid of him. That is NoNamers in a 1-on-4 position. Kaluber could actually collect the AK. Indeed does. Merson. He'll put an end to the round of Dabbing Koalas. They're up to 13 right now, but NoNamers. This is where they're going to ball. This is where they're going to make a stand. Where they're actually going to fight back properly. The rest has all been all willy-nilly like. Nothing solid. It's all been Jello. This time they've thrown bricks. I'd rather have Jello in the face than bricks. Dabbing Koalas, they've been solid under the pressure. Not relenting. NoNamers. This is where they need to overwhelm. Catch Davin Koalas off guard entirely. It's a 3-man hold on Banana. Red Star, meanwhile, pushes A, and that is terrible news for Davin Koalas. They're all going to peek right into Kaluba. Gets the 2 brains splattered against the backdrop. Up, still up close, but he's not going to escape the wrath of Duplicate. And NoNamers, this is what they can do when they start fighting back, when they have the opportunity to. 4-1. Nursing. Don't think he's going to be attempting too much. Duplicate. He even gets Ursin out of absolutely nowhere. Well, NoNamers. Seems like, especially Kaluba right in this play, has taken some plasma. It's a science-based esport nutrition made in Germany, developed by gamers for gamers. Whether you're a pro or a hobby gamer, we all know that losing concentration or a lack of sleep can be decisive in a match like this. To start a pack from plasma, these problems are a thing of the past. It provides you with all the nutrients for an energetic gaming session lasting several hours and never leaving your performance a chance again. As diabetes compliant, esports anti-doping formula, no booster crash, natural ingredients, 100% effect. Just like this Duplicate rushing on site, getting the brain splattered. Ursin and Roga both have to best believe. Massive ball for Davin Koalas, quickly gone begging. NoNamers. They don't like waiting around anymore. They're showing their force. Davin Koalas, they want to preserve their guns. An MP5 in the hands of Kosh. Could be important later. And I like that Kosh is sticking up close, looking for the exit frags. An M4, you're not going to upgrade that. It's not going to be better. An MP5 could very well still be better, but they're not going to run into him. They're just going to sit at the back of sight. And wait this round out. Duplicate, the spray, oh my, controlled perfectly. Now in Koala, that puts them in a tough spot. They're probably going to save. Kosh actually able to pick up an AK, so they might try and get that hero play or buy up around it. That wouldn't surprise me too much. Kosh at least buys util. But the rest stays with USPs. Even then, I don't think they're going to be able to buy that greatly next round. They at least need to facilitate themselves with some kills. Kaluba extinguishes the flames surrounding him. Make sure that his feet don't burn to a crisp. Usually a pretty good part of your body. But NoNamers, this is not anywhere close to out of hand. Yes, Davin Koalas are close to that match point, but this is a weak buy, and that should put NoNamers on to 8. If they execute this properly, and all of a sudden the differential is only 5. But they gave away so much in the first half already, and they're going to have to fight it all back here. We've seen crazier things today. Davin Koalas. This is going to be an interesting one. How they're going to hold this site when the NoNamers are slowly but surely pushing up without any util. About to be a raw peek around the corner. Mackie spots it out. There's a lot of players here. Roga will be faltering, and unfortunately for Roga, that actually pulls the trigger on the retreat. NoNamers, they don't want to do anything in this site anymore. They saw a USP in an M4, probably gave them an inkling of that there could be a stack. They're going to rotate right back to A. Quickly. faking out dabbing Koalas, and dabbing Koalas, they're late on the rotate. Mackie already getting called off by Harn as well, who's stuck around. Love that, Urshan. He's in an awkward spot, though. It could make it impossible. Oh, no, the first shot missed, though. He does get it in the end. Harn able to get down Joel. That puts Kush in the last position. 1-on-2. They might just grab the up and call this round a victory for his opponents. And that's exactly what it's going to do. But NoNamers, they're moving as a unit now. And the call there to not actually go B, so much better than they probably knew at that time. They only had a slight inkling. That gut feeling. And you still have to listen to that gut feeling sometimes. And NoNamers, that bagged them the 8th round. I think it would have been lights out for them had they actually continued and ran on to B site. But the dabbing Koalas, they don't care that much because they did not have a heavy investment. They still have an AWP, though, and they're going to throw it over to Roga. Of course, going to buy a lovely little MP5. And again, he really takes a liking to that gun, I guess. They're going to go quick on Banana. Red Star, he walks right past it. Caution unable to actually get the kill, though, and he gets returned. Mackie needs to be careful. Tries to flash them through, but they're already onto site. He needs to now back down. There's another play coming right at him. Red Star puts 2 bullets in the brain, and that's it. Done and over with. B side is fallen, and dabbing Koalas is unlikely that they're going to get it back. They probably will try and scope out the competition, see whether they can find a kills here and there. But they already start wavering. Don't believe themselves in this position. And I do think it's a right decision. Because if you push here, the likelihood of you taking this round is tiny. Or, well, not tiny, but probably about, I don't know, maybe 20% or something. And that's just not worth the investment of a FAMAS, an M4, and an AWP. That's so heavy. When NoNamers, they can just stall this round out. My dude get another one on the board here. Pacifist bump with a flash on Banana was strong for the NoNamers. And what really has changed from earlier, from where NoNamers were not being as good as they are right now, is the aggression that they're showing. They are willing to get into the face of dabbing Koalas and make it uncomfortable for them. Make them doubt themselves at every single turn. And dabbing Koalas, they do have another buy here. Util not full, but still good enough. Oh, just gonna cross here. Duplicate quickly needs to smoke that off. Was quick on it though, so only loses a bit of health. Duplicate Kluber. A lot lower now. And dabbing Koalas. They're yet again aggressive on Banana. They want that control. Don't want to have the flood of a sight. Oh, gosh. Not so sure whether he spotted it or whether he just randomly sprayed. Kluber wants to do the exact same. Oh, had he done that, he would have got on Kosh. He still gets him in the end, though, costing a lot of his life. He's on 8 health. Nicky. Spray coming up empty. Roga. Crunch down a few bullets. Mackie. He has to back down all the way. He's lonesome on B. If he falls, stumbles for a second. They're posing up for another B push. Dabbing Koalas, they quickly need to give some help into Mackie. Does retreat to CT, gets a headshot randomly through the smoke. Now they're pincered in NoNamers. They can't back down anymore. No A push, but why would they? They're already on site, relocating the plan. Even Kluber up close and personal with that off. Gets down to, oh my word, doing incredible work with only 8 health to work with. There's another one that he doesn't know about. Joel, yet again. Ooh, he's lucky that Kluber was only on 8 health. Joel actually also showing up. Mackie, last one back of sight now. Flash, perfectly on Red Star, and they're able to converge on him. Oh my word, Mackie, be careful! Only barely able to get him, and that is a round victory for the dabbing Koalas, putting themselves on 14-1 away from match point. But NoNamers, they've been able to build up a lot of money in the bank, so they can buy this one out rather easily in the round after that as well. So at least dabbing Koalas are met with resistance, heavy one as well, on the side of NoNamers. What a map this is proven to be. Kaluga pulling the balance of power heavily in their favor. Joe, he wants to do the exact same thing, sneak through and just win the round outright, but he had to work for it. No sneaky shenanigans here. Dabbing Koalas. What a peek by Harn. Outpacing, out-aiming Roga. Actually, no, Roga hit Electual. Apologies. I have been lying. Still. A bit of damage. On the side of NoNamers. Damage doesn't really matter that much right now. They have got the man advantage, and they're going to try and use it on A. The push-up happening slowly. Urshin in an aggressive position, able to spot out Red Star entirely. Joe got rid of Duplicate, put him in dumpster. And this round, it's going to be tough to get back, especially when Joe will shoot you through a wall. And this has to be over. And actually, it might not be. Harn able to get himself a kill here. With Nikki sneaking through. They're still going to go to A, which is exactly where they want them to go. Dabbing Koalas, they're entirely fine if you go to A. There's a player on site, a player in pit, and a player staring down mid. Joel is aggressive with it. That's a player spotted. That's Bomb. Quickly backs down and goes toward B. You don't have a lot of time to check every single angle. 30 seconds. You don't have time to at least start walking the entire way there. You have to stamp it up a little bit. And even more. But of course, in the perfect position to deal with this exactly. Harn wants to peek around the corner, but of course he knows that there's an up there on the other side. It starts wiggling and jiggling to make sure it gets harder for Harn. Money on their name are still good enough to get themselves a buy, but dabbing Koalas, they've just gotten onto match point. It is their map pick, so no worries just yet if you're a NoNamers fan. They can pull it through later, but I love the movement here out of Kush. Not sitting still in a spot to give Harn an easy shot. Wants to make sure his body spazzes out as much as possible. Push. Throwing the smoke yet again, and he actually tags another one up. No, don't go too aggressive. He meets a player, but he doesn't actually get the headshot. Harn with so much chaos on Banana already early on. Roga misses the shot. They're locked into Banana. I'm not too sure whether he meant that to be a molly. Only 2 players left to try and get this round in favor of NoNamers. They're currently not favored by any stretch of the imagination. The molly will be arriving too late, but Urshin bullets to the brain will be arriving at the perfect time. Maki there as well to get rid of Duplicate and dabbing Koalas. They win 16-9. The Loudfoot as well. But what a map here by the dabbing Koalas. You could see so easily that it was their map pick. They had the perfect strats going every single time, and we're not really giving up any map pressure to the NoNamers, but there were plenty of highlights, so make sure to go check those out. We're going to send you to a lovely little highlight package now, and afterwards we will be back with map number 2. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you back in a little bit.
of mind, body state of mind. Dancing with somebody under cherry skies, body state of mind, body state of mind. Dancing with somebody, body state of mind, body state of mind. Dancing with somebody under cherry skies, body state of mind, body state of mind. Dancing with somebody, dancing with under cherry skies, under cherry skies. Dancing with under cherry skies, under cherry skies, under cherry skies. Dancing with under cherry skies, under cherry skies.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to what is right before map number 2 of HCG Master Circuit Season number 1. And it should be an absolute slapper. We've already seen the first one, and that was a nail-biter. Somewhat, if you're no name, you probably chewed on your entire fingers because it didn't end too well for them. Dabbing Koalas were able to take them by storm and win 16-9, but it was the map pick of the Dabbing Koalas, so it's not that big of a deal, right? As soon as you lose your opponent's map pick, it's perfectly fine, but now it's your return. Now you need to actually start fighting back, and no name, they can do just that on their specific map pick. It's already getting late here, so I might start stumbling over my words a little bit more, but that shouldn't oppress the fun that we might have. And that round and that map number 2, crucial for the game plan for NoNamers. Both the teams are 1-0 in the Swiss standings, so they're still doing fine if they do lose. But how good would it be if you can go up 2-0, and especially against an opponent that might not necessarily be the hardest one you could be coming up against. Isuba, but for example, also incredibly strong for the win, even though they have been beaten before. But let's have a look at where we're going to. We're going to overpass. If you were here earlier, then you obviously know that, because we already did go through the map picks, the decider, and the Dabbing Koalas. They started off with a lovely little 360. And Spawn, Dabbing Koalas starting on that CT side and getting that first map in their favor. This is a good position for them to be in. They can just solidly grind out the CT half. There is a no grinding to a halt here for NoNamers. They're just going to push on through. Lean, Korsh, unable to tap heads. Kaluber, he's still in an awkward nuisance position. He could have started interfering. Korsh having to hold his ground. The bomb even dropped there. Maki, now he's able to rotate inward. What are NoNamers doing? They've just given away this entire round. They've locked themselves in. Nikki at least has the bomb so they can rotate onto A. But it was an interesting decision, a bit peculiar, if you will, to completely bug off B site and push right into a defender. Dabbing Koalas now, they need to rotate backwards. Kaluber, he's on the prowl, waiting for enemies to enter his crosshair, and those enemies, they duo up, makes it harder for Kaluber, but Ruga at least gets the return on Joe. Well, that is exactly why you duo up. That does make it a level playing field. Still, they're stepping, they're stampeding all towards this site. Harn, that's at the first, but he's gonna get tapped away by Maki. Nikki sitting in bank, biding his time, waiting for the defuse. Maki, gonna be guarded, will be guarded, but Nikki needs to aim for the bomb planter, and he got him. Nikki got the bomb planter. That's all Nikki needed to do. And Roga's gonna die as well, losing his armor. The perfect round for NoNamers. Sure, they lose a lot of mans. A lot of men in the process. This decision, I think, was namely actually a good one, because the push through from short couldn't actually find the kill on the cross. NoNamers, they're still going to have a lot of money to buy with, and they do exactly that. Buy up, or rather dabbing Koala. I don't know why I keep on calling them dabbing, but Dabbing Koalas. They have a bit of money to buy. They did get a lot of kills in that round, so they can at least put up some resistance against NoNamers, but it seems to be faltering time and time again as soon as you do that against the NoNamers. Buy up heavy. They don't want to give this round away. Roga, all the way over the top, and Maki, or somebody pushed up far onto long. Ursin pushed up far through Monster. The reload could tip them off. Seems like it won't. But they've got map control, so much of it. Maki, catch one off guard and trade. Duplicate tries to get it, but instead he will falter rather easily. Joel got complacent, dropped right into the crosshair of Harn. And then we'll buy dust. Dabbing Koalas, they don't need to push. They've already got so much map control here. Roga, that's bomb spotted now as well. Going to try and be aggressive, because if he can get it down, especially with the flash, he's not going to go in a second time, or he isn't. That is exactly what you shouldn't be doing against Harn, who's just pressing down the trigger. NoNamers. This was an impossible position for them, but it's made very possible. They're low on health, sure, but they don't really have any return fire. Korsh trying to get onto site with the jump. Failed. Bomb still planted. Korsh able to get the turret kill on the bomb planter. But NoNamers They're incredibly low on health. Their highest health player starts a death already. And Ursin. Red Star, actually. What is this? What has just happened? Harn. They know his position. Push is going to try and chase him down. He will be in time. He should have more than enough time to actually defuse the bomb as well. Dabbing Koalas. I don't know what that was. I don't know what happened. But that was the craziest interaction. Where Dabbing Koalas, they look both on opposite ends. They make sure that they've got a full 360-degree angle covered. Except for that one tiny crack. And also the player walking through. Perfectly in between the two players. Falling outside of his scope. And that's an unfortunate round. It still was tough for NoNamers. They're able to claw themselves back. They're right back to a force buy. Don't want to give away any pressure. Don't want to let Dabbing Koalas build up an economy and try and do some damage. Roga, you have to be extremely careful. You're buying up. Sure, that's up until that point. That's fine. But you can't give it away. As soon as NoNamers get their hands on the AWP, the entire round just switches, turns on its head. And chip damage already done. And Red Star and Harn taking the brunt of that. I like that Roga's just sitting far back, dude. Ooh, Nikki, be careful. It does move slightly left. Beautiful gloves there by Cooks. Rawr. Harn with the scout. Peeks around quickly. Gets a hit on Joel, but Joel turns the favor twice over. That might be a vulnerable. Joel being tagged down a lot. Roga also being tagged, but only by 15. Only over the top. That's going to be the lethal key. Roga utilizes it to get it down one, but Kaluba, he shows it. He one-ups him. Perfect headshot. With a push through by NoNamers, should be coming to a dead hole. Kaluba tries to get another headshot, gets one on Joel, but that will be the end of the round. Dabbing Koalas get it rather easily, and they're able to recover the AWP as well. Unfortunately, not an M4 for Urshan. Has to make do with a FAMAS. But NoNamers, they can't do anything anymore. In this particular round, they're just going to have to accept that this is nothing. Double flash, so this is, I can guarantee you, this is going to be a push, either A or B. Do flash over the top, move through, and just pray for a bump plan. Pray that you catch them off guard, and B is the more usual target for a push like that. Close quarters. But they're not blinded whatsoever, so he needs to stand his ground. Gets down 1, 2, 3. Gets his team up in the mix as well, Ursin. Kaluber fighting back with a glove, getting 2. I think with the investment that they put into this round, getting 2 guns out of the hands from Dabbing Koalas, so it is a trade you very well make. 400 invested into the round. 2 kills out of it. About 8k investment. Probably less than that, but put it at 6k. You'll very happily take that. NoNamers, they've got no money in the bank anymore, and that indicates a full furnished round for them now. Joel getting aggressive. I love this. Roga also showing his head, and Dabbing Koalas, they know exactly what's going on in this round. Of course, they know NoNamers have got a full buy going for them. But they would like to squander the opportunity of them even closely to utilizing it. Good flash over and duplicate already. Face full of dirt. Harn gives the same favor to Joe and Mackie. Shortly follows. With their face, not much left of it as Kosh move through the cracks. Roga missed a shot. Should be Harn on to A. Ooh, but Harn is going to run right into Kosh here. Easy kill for Kosh. That should also be the info that nothing is going on in A anymore. Pull the trigger on the rotation, especially with Ursin spotting them out here. And it swings wide. Nikki does. Ursin bites the brunt of that. Kosh trading out Kaluber. bomb. At least going down for NoNamers. Now they're going to have to assume those after plant positions. Roga. He could be the key to this round. He's able to hit his shots. Nikki already falters. Last rush, and the Red Star just peeks around Rogan and prepared, and that is up out of the hands. The round away into the hand of NoNamers, and they make it a differential of 1. NoNamers have to face a buying dabbing Koalas yet again. Roga with the orb. They have a lot of faith in him. They don't want to facilitate him with that opportunity time and time again. The big green. Because it is such a powerful gun. Boost battle. Take the NoNamers. Unable to do it. Joe. Only barely escapes hard. And Kosh gets the better of Kaluba on the boost battle. Red Star. Been able to step up in the rounds that NoNamers have won. They just smoke it off. Urson, who's that duel? Roga at least returns the favor, and Red Star won't be allowed any further. His steps have come to an end. NoNamers. Still not looking great for them, especially when you run into the molds of the beast like that. Joel easily... Oh my word, Joel! He doesn't get the third. But the quick wiggle into the air. Nikki actually still has a round here going. On 22 health and not even taking short into account. Of course, she easily gets rid of him. But Joel, the quick wiggle, or the rustling of the feathers. And then the quick scope. Beautiful stuff out of dabbing Koalas to break NoNamers apart in a round that they thought they had such a good chance. It's a bit careless here by Nikki to assume nobody's anywhere close on short. Sure, time not necessarily on his side. But I also don't think it was against him. They buy up the Eagles. Do like that strand, especially for this region. But the nade probably blew that up away. Unfortunate timing. Joel, he's still gonna fight for it. No, Kaluba got the orb. That's exactly what I mean, Roga. Why put yourself out there that far? Is he now? Joel, this gets down Kaluba, and now fighting 2 Deagle. Duplicate is able to give him a clean shave, and Mackie still in short, or in connector rather, throws a nade over the top. Should be the end of Nikki's life. No. But Red Star, no way! Now Red Star lost that battle. Horn still on site. Mackie able to hold them back in a 1v1. Crucial. To put your team in a comfortable position, you have to pull through right now. Put the team on your back. Carry them as luggage. But Horn doesn't have the bomb. It's dropped near Fountain. Mackie. Everybody seems like he's making a read, leaving the bomb. Or not knowing where it is. So at least going to cost them a lot of time here. Harn. He wastes so much time trying to spot every single angle. And that's why I do think there's something to be said about Mackie backing down here. Harn. Does he go B? Does he go A? He doesn't know either. He's at a crossroads and he made his decision. He's got to stampede onto B. Find himself an empty site, and he can settle in nicely into the after plant position. Mackie probably going to go on the rotate. Yes, indeed. Able to spot the retreat of Harn. No. Mackie is making a lot of noise here. This is so tough for him. Is he just going to stick it? Mackie is just going to stick it outright. NoNamers. Oh my word, the ice in the veins of Mackie. Oh my, he had an injector straight in there. Wow, reads the rotation from Monster onto short, goes for it, and that is the round over. Anticlimactic for both sides, but dabbing Koalas Of course they're gonna take that. Why wouldn't they? Roga missing the shot. Yet again, getting aggressive. This is a full buy for NoNamers, an important round for them. They're moving slowly towards site. Showing their hands, or at least a little bit. They show one card. Perfect pre-fire. That's just gutting. And a boost up thereafter. Getting cheeky, but that might actually cost them. Yes, indeed, that cost them their head. Great communication there by the NoNamers. That duplicate gives a clean shave to Urzin. Duplicate. A few bullets to the torso will also make him pull backwards. Red Star still. Good spray. Push. Not playing with his life anymore. Joel, it seems like he scared them off. NoNamers, they're going to go A. And Roga is still there. There's no way Roga dropped down on B. If he rotated, he'll go heaven. That is about as far as he will step his bounds. Actually, no, Roga. No, never mind. He's rotated entirely. That's a free sight for NoNamers. I thought Roga would still be here, surely, but guess I was dead wrong. Harn already getting the first kill, and that might already be enough of a warning for Roga to not even attempt it. Especially with an AWP. Indeed, he's going to go far away. NoNamers. Good at calling the rotation yet again. Also in the previous map, they had a rotation there. Bit of a gut feeling of let's go to the other site. Not 100% sure why, but it feels like that would be the right call. And it pays dividends. And this is how the round started as well. Joel just tapping away. That's going to be a rough one for dabbing Koalas. This time I would like to see the aggression out of Roga. Because you have to. The opponents already have an up, so it doesn't really matter if you lose it. They're in near Fountain. But you could put yourself in a great position in your team to come with it. NoNamers, they don't even go long or anywhere near it. They're just going to go straight on to be the execute. Cool, NoNamers. They're pushing on the site. Ershin gets the first kill. Gets traded out by Red Star. Coach not able to get a kill whatsoever. And Naki quickly meets his end as well. NoNamers, the executes onto site. As soon as they are actually there, they're solid at holding it. And Roga, I don't think he's going to go too crazy with it. Joel, sure, he'll peek around. And actually, this is possible. So I think Roga, double kill. All blue kills and a Red Star in a position caught in between two forces, and they do close in on him. Roga with the 3-piece and dabbing Koala somehow managed to pull off a 2v4. What a way for dabbing Koalas to bring this one back in their favor and swing the balance of power. To win this AWP duel. Crucial. The Kaluba peak. After all my question marks there. Because you know there's an AWP there. You know he's already had time to reload. And put another bullet in the chamber. And that gives a much needed round for NoNamers away to dabbing Koalas. They nab it out of their hands. Push with another boost. Kaluber not paying any attention to it. Dabbing Koalas, they are cheeky with it. NoNamers still get through monsters so unscathed every single time. Urson finally able to put in a dent, but a dent won't be enough. Nicky still stands his ground. Harn, last man alive now. He's gonna have to make a stand 1-on-4. Make yourself a hero. Instead, he gets dropped incredibly quickly. And NoNamers, they're getting put in a tough spot. They do decide to buy. Make that executive decision. They want those close angles. Harn actually getting it from Joel. Back down slowly, but Joel, this spray is not perfect. Good enough, though, to take down Harn. There's another one. Going down the connector. Joel managed to evade, and of course, meanwhile, on A, shuts this entire push down. The rebellion by NoName. Quickly gone begging. A few taps to the head and Red Star. It's gonna go bold. Go on, dude. Shows what you're made of. Made of bullets now. At least a few percentage of his body. Also lifeless. Damning Koalas. They're setting themselves up nicely. NoNamers can buy again, but that util still is going to be struggling. They've got some. And at least they don't have to hold off, so they can be very, very specific on where they want to go and throw all of their util in that one spot, but they can't really go for a fake out, or at least not in a way that they can still also fully flash and fully nade the other site. Roga getting incredibly aggressive down long. They don't really pay attention to it, but push up close and personal. Spray not hitting, and Duplicate is able to clean up long entirely, swap them up. Joel. Oh no. That's the end of this round, surely. Oh no, if Joel misses his shot. Joel! That's now a clean 1-on-1. Nicky, low health, finally will go down, but Joel, that was not the way that he wanted to do that in. Still an opportunity here. And as I say that, yeah, no. Not an opportunity anymore. Dabbing Koalas yet another fire round in their favor, and that's because they're getting aggressive time and time again down that long or wherever. Even with Duplicate getting the double and clearing it up entirely, Joel was still there getting aggressive with it as well. Nobody to stop him. Dabbing Koalas, this is already a solid half for them, and it's only bonus from here. NoNamers. It looks like they won't really be able to stop this bonus. Harn running through the flames, doing 40 damage to himself, and then running through the flames everywhere. Kaluber also down to 34. Without even any interaction, without any spotting. Roga finally spots one, but they're already down so much health. And they start this round at a major deficit. That B could be overthrown quickly. Need two players govern it. Joel. Oh no, Nicky. Gosh, way overstepped there on short. Duplicate still holding back. I would like for Dabbing Koalas not to push too aggressively, because there's no need. You get exactly this. Harn puts a bullet in the face. But 4-1, and this should still be an easy round for them. For the Dabbing Koalas, that is. And I guess long-term economy doesn't matter that much. So they're going to have this round with a lot of gunnage. Harn. At least he's able to get one. For only a second. And let's see how it feels. How he likes it. And then he can buy one up here. Use that to perfection. NoNamers. This is their map pick, and it's about to be stolen away. Dabbing Koalas are putting in a phenomenal dent in their CT side. Squandering every opportunity that NoNamers try and facilitate for themselves. As they're trying to build up, they just smack the wall down directly. The snowman being built by NoNamers. just melting, getting run over with a car at the same time. And luckily for them, there's plenty of snow in this boost up. Could give them a big bowl. The counter boost. They're about to kiss midair. Joel. They know it. Oh, Joel. He doesn't really know that. That's a good shot by Kaluba. Gets traded out by Kosh. Harn. Hey, Nicky. He's gonna run into the water. There's two players waiting there. He trades himself out. It wasn't a great decision, I don't think. But at least he trades himself out, and that makes it perfectly fine. Mackie. He's not going to have an easy way through. Red Star. This is an important battle. He easily wins it. Urson doesn't even check. And they should know Mackie's position. Trades one down, and Red Star going to get the fourth for NoNamers. A much-needed round, and honestly, this last one also for NoNamers has to fall in their favor. Otherwise, they are just in a horrendous. It is their map pick, so maybe they just prefer the CT side. They have an incredibly strong half there. But even if you do, you don't really know what your opponent is going to be coming out with. So even if you back yourself, you still want to do as well on the other half as. They were getting aggressive. Duplicate barely able to escape it. They're going to boost up again. And they just throw a nade right in the gob of Urson. He's actually on 3 health. But he's still alive, and that's what matters. He's able to use that gun, and he's still got in the hand. They're actually going to use him to boost up. Put him in an off angle. I like that, because now he's out there. The retreat for Urson is going to be basically impossible. It would be basically impossible, but now you at least have that off angle going for you, but there's 3 man waiting down B. Oh, hunched up in that same square foot. If NoNamers decide to go B, they might just shoot themselves square in the foot. Nicky, he's going to slowly push on through. He knows that one is barrel, but now that they've peeked out, all of a sudden that makes it a lot tougher. Urson. He's going to fall in the bomb plant. It's going to get down for NoNamers. Mackie just has to hold here. He can't really do too much, and Harn, he will neutralize Joel's threat as well. Mackie peeks up. He forgot that that was even a possibility. That throws it wide open. Mackie. He wins this duel. My word. 2-on-2 now for this round. A crucial one. The last round in the half, and it's all up to Roga with the AWP. Timer ticking down. You can't have ice in the veins, but you can't have a no-scope in the book. And you're going to have to do something here, lad. He actually spots him out. Kaluba got aggressive, gets the bullet in brain of Roga, and that is a half where NoNamers get the half of the score of dabbing Koalas. It's all right. That's all I can say. It's all right. It's not great by any stretch of the imagination, by any sense of the word, but at least you have something to work with going into that CT side. But that CT side for NoNamers will only come after a short little break. We are going to make sure that we get the best production value to you possible. So don't go anywhere. Make sure to stick close, because we will see you right back. Don't go anywhere. We are back, and we're about to get into that second half, but what a match. What a map it has proven to be. NoNamers, their map pick It is not necessarily in their favor just yet, but the swap of sides, that could change the tide here entirely. Dabbing Koalas, they're going to have to be innovative on the T side and make sure that they make a guessing game here for NoNamers, where NoNamers, they should punch through and try and puncture that T side, even though they're counter-terrorists. That is why you don't expect the aggression to come through. So I would like to see them pull it off and make them guess as well. Make it a guessing game for everybody involved, because then you just get a heavyweight fight, punch, and just wildly loose both directions. And here we're about to go. We've already said so many times, or I've already said a lot of emphasis on this pistol round. And I think, yet again, Dabbing Koalas, if they're able to get this pistol round, they're put themselves in a heavily favorable position to take this entire map home. And NoNamers, then they have to massively show up. This is about as equal as it might just get. Dabbing Koalas, we're going to go for a quick push. The last time, Mackie just faltered to Sydney Connector. They're going to let them all run by. Finally, Harn pulls the trigger on Kush. They're still all through, though, and they're able to hold the back line now. Roga attempts to do so. Gets two together with Mackie. Roga loses to the P250. Red Star converges on that position. NoNamers, they're going to have to fight back. Seems like Dabbing Koalas have got a pretty good read on where everybody is. But the back line still exposed. Dabbing Koalas, they're able to get onto site heavily. Urson cleanly taken out. Where's Joel? Where's he in this mix? There's Mackie at least. Oh my word. Pipe down. Red Star finally pipes him down. Joel, he doesn't have to push, but Red Star, he pushes him instead. One tap to the brain, and that's the round for NoNamers. A lot of emphasis on it, and it all falls in favor of the NoNamers. Joel, he had to hit a one bullet. Red Star just simply one-upped him, was simply better in that exchange. What a tap. Red Star coming in clutch for the NoNamers. But Dabbing Koalas, you best believe they're still going to buy. They've got the bomb plant down. They've got a lot of kills on the board. They have money to buy 2 AKs, 2 Deagles, 3 Deagles even. 2 Deagles, I'm silly. And a Galil. Bit of util to work with. Harn, actually with an AWP. Okay, that's a heavy. NoNamers lose this round. It's not a great start for them by any stretch of the imagination. Dabbing Koalas, they find this entry and decide to push on through, but Harn, they want to put him in a key position. That at least gives it away. They've got an AWP on the side of NoNamers. Dabbing Koalas, are you going to push on through and try and overwhelm? It seems that that is the case. Harn, he needs to hold strong through the box. He tries to go, gets a tag. Harn, this is a tough position. Gets down Joel. That's perfect by Harn. And he is getting put in the position where he has to come up clutch. He has to stay strong, and that's bomb down. Dabbing Koalas, Mackie even losing out of the battle here. And Kush, last man alive. They are low on health on the side of NoNamers. They don't have to push him. They can just sit back and enjoy the show. Harn, be careful. Ironically, Nikki, the one who likes to engage in battles the most, that at MP9, highest on health, but this, even though there's so much damage done on the side of NoNamers, still an incredibly clean round. They don't lose any gun, really. And they maintain the AWP. They literally only lost the entry. They all rotated it to A. Took a bit of a gamble, sure. But Harn getting that kill instead of getting killed makes it incredibly tough for Koalas to try and bring it back there. And that's Dabbing Koalas back to forcing. Eagles and a Tech 9. That'd be great against an AWP. Harn. Some mercy killing. They're all putting him in the scope. Nikki even with the back route. Joe with a good 180. Joe should be able to pick up the gun of Nikki. Doesn't even want it. Harn. Through the wall and through the brain. Joe will fall. NoNamers are back within 2 now. And that's 3 rounds purely off of the pistol. Mainly, rather. There was a very good opportunity still for the dabbing Koalas, but this is another good one of those good opportunities for them that they would like to pull through in. A full buy engaged, a lot of util to back it up. NoNamers. They like their CT half. And they would like to prevent that bomb from being planted. Ooh, Mackie gets a bomb planted in his own face. NoNamers. They're showing an exquisite holding position. Diamond hands. On every single site. Huddle. Push over. So many barrels. Mackie, oh, he's been so incredible in those opening kills. Kaluber. His thoughts interrupted by a bullet. With a B stack. Joel, he's going to find a lot of space now for dabbing Koalas that they don't push the go button instantly. Because they're going to run into every single player on the side of NoNamers. Joel, he's onto site now and he knows it. He calls it out. Gets an easy kill on Harn. And NoNamers to gamble. That's why you don't gamble. You can't stand there with empty hands. Dabbing Koalas, they're able to get this round. How much do they want to hunt? Not too much, I reckon. They would prefer to sit back. Because also their economy is not great on the side of NoNamers. They can buy for another round here. Red Star, Kaluber, and Harn have got enough money to combine forces. And even get an ult for Harn. If these two guns wouldn't be there, that it would be an entirely different story. Dabbing Koalas. They might know that, but even if they do, I don't think it's worth it to be pushing. And the dabbing Koalas. Solidly lodging themselves in a favorable position. As soon as they did get the guns in their hands, they're able to fight back, but NoNamers, they have another round in them. Another buy round, that is. They're going aggressive, getting down Fountain. Down Koalas. Seemingly just holding the line. I don't think they know anybody pushed up at Fountain already. Up incredibly close. Joel is going to back down, but this is scary. NoNamers. They're putting a lot of forces forward. They're all retreating now. As soon as that smoke's dissipating, they don't care anymore. Mackie pushing up. He's going to molly short himself. NoNamers, they're just going to sit here. Underneath heaven. Waiting for them to push through the smoke. And as soon as they do, well, you see the outcome of it. Course taking a bullet in the mouth. It's not a preferred taste. Joel, if you sneak underneath, duplicate still, return. Where is dabbing Koalas? Where are the trades? They go in one by one, die, go in again. Every single time they do that. Now Urson in a 1-on-4. Basically an impossible position. He's about to get peeked from every single possible direction. Alright, might have an easy time here. But dabbing Koalas, this is such an odd round by them. Sure, the B push, I don't care whatsoever. That's fine. But the way they did it just brings a lot of question marks in my brain. Because they didn't really peek together. They ran through the smoke. They died. Watch me do it again. Like, they weren't combining their efforts. Just faltering one by one, and NoNamers, they're always stacking the site heavily. Where dabbing Koalas are showing some presence, so we'd like to see them try and switch it up. Try and fake it out. Send 3 players somewhere or whatever, and then go down the other side. Or have 2 players make noise or whatever. At least some sort of fake. Dabbing Koalas. They don't fake out their buy. It's to full one. Need to revitalize themselves. They were able to tie together one round in this entire half. That's obviously not going to cut it. They didn't have that of dominating of a CT half. But the money will be broken for NoNamers if Dabbing Koalas are able to get this round and pull it away from them. Harn. And the line with the orb. As soon as they go into toilets, they won't come across Harn. Ooh, there they go, Harn. That's a free kill. Why do you not check this, Kush? So careless on the side of Dabbing Koalas. They're starting to forget things, and let's see whether NoNamers yet again stack up on the site. Harn has a tiny little edge in the smoke. They know it now. Mackie trying to bait out the orb, does so perfectly. Almost time to put another bullet in the chamber, but instead Mackie puts it in Harn's chamber. Quite literally. Red Star. Up close combat open with that. Okay. Interesting. NoNamers. This round should be out of hand, especially with Urshan getting the double. Dabbing Koalas tie another round together. But the push through by Kosh still seems so silly to me. To not take long into an account that there could be somebody there. It doesn't matter whether it's an AWP or whatever. I think at least you try and bait it out. Try and bunny through it. Make it tougher for them to hit their shot. Ending result in this is the same for Dabbing Koalas, so I can be nitpicky. All I like, but they still managed to pull through, so Dabbing Koalas. Ooh, Harn. That's good info. They might just be able to pull off the stack. Want to rotate in at least, but Urshan gets a good interaction in the tunnels. Pushing through. And this is NoNamers getting picked apart. Easy as you'd like. Dabbing Koalas, they're getting inching closer and closer to that match point. NoNamers, they quickly need to make a stand, but look at their money. They don't really have a lot to make a stand with. Nikki, 2,200. That's a deal and some armor. Because the rest does have enough money to buy, and I don't think you want to let Dabbing Koalas go on to one before match point so easily. And they do decide, we're going to try this. Bammers. 5-7. And an AWP up close and personal. Harn gets that too, and that is already NoNamers in an exquisite position. Mackie able to at least make it a level playing field somewhat in terms of firing power. Actually, no, that was Kluber taken out. They still have that M4. No worries whatsoever on the side of NoNamers. They'll take that trade 2 for 1. Good deal. The NoNamers. Still guessing game for them. They've got 1 minute 10 inside of Dabbing Koalas to pick out a site, see where they want to go, what site they want to try and tear out. But Harn already with that AWP. Starting the round off right. It couldn't really be any better for NoNamers right now. Of course, they would have preferred if they had all of them alive still. Dabbing Koalas making their way down long, about to meet a Red Star. He's going to put in a fight. This will still be tough. Peak being pulled through, but Roga. It's only a trade, and trades are not good enough right now for Dabbing Koalas. They're going to go through quickly. Puncture sight. Harn, he's forced to back down. He's smoked off from bank every single direction that he was one to go in. He's blocked off by either a literal wall, a sea of flames, or a wall of smoke. That finally dissipates, and now NoNamers, they can make their stand. Molly on long to the section of Mackie. They actually fake it out. Why fake it out? Brethren, you don't have to. This is the round for NoNamers. 100%. It's not going to be pulled in. Wait. I didn't know what was going on there, but Duplicate made that so close. I don't think he had a kit. I would have assumed he had a kit. Yeah, this trade just not good enough for dabbing Koalas. It was a good idea, but they didn't actually peek at the same time. I would have preferred for the player up on the little flowers to peek first. Because that's the off angle. You want to bait your attention there, or their attention there. Doesn't matter for dabbing Koalas. Double-digit fights on both sides. And it's time for dabbing Koalas to start buying up. They do have the money on both sides. It is fragile. NoNamers. Every single victory that they get is incredibly costly for them. They do put an up in the hands of Harn yet again. Want to make sure that his life is the easiest possible because he's been showing up time and time again. Has been a key factor for NoNamers in this entire map. And also the previous one as well. Ursin, already smoke in the hand, knows exactly what's going to happen. Damning Koalas. Are they going to change it up? Because they have been falling into the same old. Maybe change it up with an entry through the smoke. They're going to go down long, train it up. Red Star. This time the Forge will be a lot brighter, but nobody actually peeks his direction. A lot of damage done, and a call will be coming through. NoNamers, they can pull the trigger on the rotation yet again. Ursin not able to do too much in the MP9. Nikki, of course, wants to sneak up close. Joel tries to peek wide. Of course, he's doing his due diligence properly this time. They're about to run into the AWP of Harn and an MP9 up close. Deadly combo. They're busy with the AWP trying to flood that while the MP9 just tears everybody to shreds. Ursin with the AWP. Push through. Oh my word, that's a great push through for the MP9 still. Nikki in a perfect position. Doesn't get spotted out until later. One-on-one Mackie. Could make the rotate. But he's been famed in this position. Entrying. This entry would also, at the same time, be an exit and finds the kill actually on Duplicate. And that's dabbing Koalas one away from match point. Not even with a headshot, but that is how low Duplicate already was with that initial interaction. This goes back all the way to the start of the round where they were able to get one simple kill. Well, not even a kill. A few tagged through his smoke. That is in the end what dabbing Koalas needed to win this round. NoNamers, unfortunately for them, do not get the retake. $14-10. Terrible buy on the side of NoNamers. That is not what you like to see if you have to fight against match point. They've still got the Deagles and dabbing Koalas. This is where they need to stick together as a unit. This is where they can't start faltering because that actually gives a way back into that 5-7 or the Deagle. If they're able to recover that gun, they've got the bullets to... the armor, rather, to back it up. Harn, incredibly aggressive. And he's going to continue pushing up. As dabbing Koalas do not put a stop to this, that might just be their entire round falling apart here before it even realistically started. Oh, Harn. He's still walking through. Dabbing Koalas, there's no way they're going to expect this. Duplicate getting burned to a crisp, at least taking down one to the grave with him. Kaluber still up close, but Harn now at least he can go quickly. Ursin looking for the entry in Kaluber, but he just gets one tap. Kaluber, yet another one. Roga finally neutralizes the threat, but Harn, he's still from behind, and that's it. That's the round over, surely. Roga in a 1-on-3. Enemies surrounding him from every single direction. Doesn't even get the first kill on Harn. That was the best rotation you could be pulling. Sneaking behind the enemy lines, giving all the info. Making sure everybody moves there. Dabbing Koalas, a round that they should have been winning. Gone begging. They would have loved to get it back. Flash over the top. Not blind and Harn. NoNamers. This seems like another round for them. Dabbing Koalas. They had it all set up. It looks solid for them. And this outcome surely not one that they are favoring. And they're peeking the deagle, because why not? You're feeling frisky. Molly to hold them off. But I guess that is what dabbing koalas are wanting to do. Bait out the util. Maybe get a gun out of their hands as well. But it seems like Harn is going to collect them all. The Grim Reaper. NoNamers. They distanced themselves 2 away from dabbing koalas. And actually, that previous round was a force buy for dabbing koalas. Not just the deagles. They actually bought up armor with it. That makes it awkward in this round now. Getting caught with their hands in their pants. And NoNamers are pulling it down, exposing the entirety of the dabbing koalas. They're just going to push through mid. Red Star. Smart. Throws a net and he's out. Arn with the Yorp. Every single time he gets to put a bullet in the chamber, he'll take someone down with it. They're even pre-firing this angle. And that's dabbing koalas torn apart here. Good shot by Mackie. Just gives them something to work with. Well, who else has shut it down than Harn? 29 kills for the man already. Talk about carry. 3 kills in this round, basically, but the differential between these two teams now only reduced to 1. Dabbing koalas. They're going to fight back here. This is where they make a stand. Try to rattle NoNamers. Dabbing koalas, they only need 1 more to at least force an overtime. But that is not going to be good enough. NoNamers, they've been increasing their skill ceiling. Nikki going aggressive and shutting down Urshin. Getting into the playground, gets timed out instead. Dabbing koalas, they are so scared. They don't want to challenge NoNamers. It's unfortunate that they must. Duplicate, this is exactly why you don't want to challenge. Kaluba and Duplicate combining for an incredible shutdown of NoNamers. You have to think about the economical state that this round will facilitate for NoNamers, and especially for dabbing koalas, how bad it will be for them. NoNamers, they'll be able to buy for the rest of this map. No worries. But dabbing koalas, their economy, the most one of the players has is $150 to their name. And a 2-1-5. I wouldn't be surprised to see them save Mackie. Careless down long. Doesn't meet any opposition. So it's probably best to pull out his gun. NoNamers. This is incredible. Yeah, of course they're gonna hunt. Who cares if they lose the guns? They're down low. Doesn't seem that NoNamers are checking that spot. Dabbing koalas, they stay put. 14-14. Winner of this, at least, secures themselves a tie. That is only at the very minimum. You put in a good dent. The Nikki aggression here. Catching Urshan off guard entirely. I think Duplicate Kaluber. Wonder what dabbing koalas are going to come out with. The Horn, aggressive. There's a flash behind him to try and stop the counter. Oh my, this is only a game of inches. Dabbing koalas. They do not fall to the orb. At least not just yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's imminent. But NoNamers, they're reanimated. Harn, getting out of harm's way. Good flash on Mackie to pull the full retreat onto site. Joel slowly getting down long. This A site hasn't really been great for the dabbing koalas. A wall of smoke could do wonders, though. Could open it up entirely. Mackie also getting close to that 30 bomb. Nikki up close in long, and the terrorists are gathering, having a little tea party before they inevitably send themselves into a position where it's life or death. You're going to have to fight your way through, and this time they peek first on the flowers. Mackie able to swing wide. Red Star, make sure that cork hit the name. Push. Joel, good flick on Harn. That's at least the upper down. Joel getting Red Star, but Urson will. Or at least getting pincer and duplicate through the smoke. He gets down two almost. Erson being able to scrape by his life on 1 HP. And Kaluber, he's not having a great time here. Could just be dabbing koalas on match point first. After all the pressure put on them by NoNamers. It all comes down to this particular interaction. Mackie about to swing into the favor, and indeed, NoNamers, they fight against match point for dabbing koalas. What a map we're having, and this is NoNamers map pick. Dabbing koalas, they're one round away from getting stolen from them. But NoNamers, they can still buy. That's something they have going for themselves. They can still buy up. Full you to everything that they can muster. Now you also need the sauce. Calm the nerves to pull through, because NoNamers, they have to be under intense scrutiny if they lose here. Dabbing koalas, they've got an entire map to play with. They've got a overtime already locked up in the bag. That relieves so much pressure. NoNamers, and they're not really able to find any reprieve. As soon as the dabbing koalas decide on the site, they're going to go for it. They're going to gun it. But it could come to an end here. Dabbing koalas, they're pulling the trigger. They're throwing the nades over. Push, waiting for the flashes, but it finally gets peeked by Kaluber instead. Got tired of waiting. The rotation already on B. Reinforcements arriving and push yet again lackluster. Traded, at least a lot. Harn. And a one-on-one now. Urson versus Red Star. No clue where his opponent is residing. And Red Star, of course, he at least has an indication. But Urson, he would love to know. Urson, he's going to sneak through the cracks and actually go A. Going to leg it. Get the plant. Every single second is going to matter now. Red Star, he's going to trade that up for a normal gun, or does he decide to stick with it? Urson, what's the best spot? Goes down bang. Maybe to try and catch the rotation off guard. It is planted for him. Red Star, he's going to go the long way around. I think this is going to be down to one bullet for Red Star. Don't even think. This is going to be down to one bullet for Red Star. He won't really have the time to put another one in the chamber unless he finds himself a great scenario. But Urson, he doesn't really need to do anything. He spots him out as well. That's a free kill for Urson. Red Star catches him off guard, or rather, they vice versa. And dabbing koalas, they win it in regulatory time. What a phenomenal way to win this for the dabbing koalas. 16-14. Their T side looked as if it was crumbling, but instead they were just making apple pie in the favorite kind as well. Oh my word. What a round here to finish it off, and what a way. That dabbing koalas pulled through NoNamers. They go 1-1 in the Swiss bracket. Thank you for the compliment as well, lads. Dabbing koalas. Oh my word. I know, man, you lost money. But that doesn't matter. I can go and try and argue all the time, but there's only one fact, and that is dabbing koalas pulling through in the heat of the moment. And that is now the end of the evening. You can relax. You can sit down on the couch, have whatever beverage you so much desire. I want to thank you all for coming out and supporting the stream, and supporting me as well. Thank you so much for the compliments that I just saw in chat as well. We want to thank you all for tuning in. Make sure to stay tuned as well, because there is more Swiss stage, and after that, a playoff stage as well, where both these teams can still get to. Oh, we are going to move on to the highlight package. Don't go anywhere because you do want to stick around for it. We shall see you back hopefully tomorrow. Have a good one.